Our story begins in Phaloxal, one of the major port towns upon the storm-broken lands, one of the continents of Malpos. At its center lies the Chroniker, the mage tower of the Dominus Porta. The Dominus Porta, one of the few archmages left in the world, a master of conjuration magic, and over the past couple of decades, beginning to see the turning of an age. Every 500, every 1,000 years within the world of Malpos, something happens. Whether it's the stars aligning, powers gathering, councils of gods, many different things happen. But within those minor and major ages of the 500 and 1,000 years, there is a turning. There is something that happens. And over the past couple ages, the power of man, of folk, has grown. The influence of gods has decreased. And the Dominus Porta, whether in the protection of this world or in his own arrogance, sees it as his duty to reign in the new age. Over the past decade, many travesties have almost occurred within the storm-broken lands. Elder evils that that which desires, gresn'ilknus, the elemental profaned chaos, the pallid monarch, the caged morbidity of Xanax-Saroon. All of these elder evils beginning to grow, to push, to attempt to put their will into the world, all within a very small time frame. The Dominus Porta, Atrigor, has brought it upon himself to gather together armies, sages, arcanists, and heroes in an attempt to eternally prevent the elder evils from taking over the prime material. Now is the time for his operation to come to a culmination. The Chroniker, the Wizard's Tower within Phaloxal, the main tower itself standing tall, but this small sub-tower on its side that the populace has seen rotate around and around over time, repositioning itself when needed to act as a beacon point for greater conjuration magics, producing great portals between sections of the plane at very little effort to the Dominus Porta himself. As this time comes, he begins to gather those that would serve him. An army lays in wait elsewhere, but for now he gathers together heroes that have pledged their allegiance to his cause. The first of which, currently operating in his own study, attempting to facilitate the Dominus Porta, to bring about this turning of ages in a safe manner, is Celeste. Celeste, would you care to give a brief description of your character for everybody?
Oh, yeah, Celeste is a light blue-skinned, cloudy-haired, air genasi wizard, trouble past, and she is sort of frantically in her purple robes and various spell books and such, just trying to make sure everything's going smoothly for Mr. Porta here. Yes, I think she's organizing a bunch of teleportation circles or whatnot, and such.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Celeste's greater purpose of this endeavor is of protection. Not abjuration magic, but protecting the world and people itself, as the Dominus Porta's plan, removing the prime material from the center of the cosmos, and rather bringing the cosmos all into one space, no longer fighting for a balance point, but coexisting. However, bringing 16 planes, the outer planes, crashing inwards, bringing the inner planes with them into a single astral space. That is dangerous, and there could be casualties, and so he has gathered you. However, you're not the only wizard that has been brought to bear. Entering into the room within these preparations is another wizard. Norrin, would you like to give a description of your character for everybody?
Norrin is a cheeky little guy. He is a budding master of abjuration magic and is very interested in developing safe and well-protected connections across planes, allowing them to be studied further and for resources and ideas and thoughts to be shared and collected.
Fantastic. With that, as you lot finish your preparations within Atrigor's tower, Atrigor sweeps into the room, the bearded, elderly wizard that he is, hyper-confident to the point of arrogance, informs you that the time has come, and with an incantation and a swirling of his arms outward, you feel the entire tower rock, and then a splintering, a shattering of the top section of the tower from the base, as you all feel that familiar teleportation suction. As he teleports the entire top half of his tower across the storm-broken lands and into the sunken Keshaw. It rockets into an ancient ruin of a temple. The sunken Keshaw being a nexus of powerful ley lines throughout this world. At one point, a single island since sunk through the machinations of many a cult and followership wishing to use their problems for ill. The Dominus Porta is dropping his tower inside Nelbora, a temple of gates to other planes, and as it centers itself, the first phase of this plan to bring the powers of the Dominus Porta to a place of planar magic within the sunken Keshaw. You lot exit out the tower into the temple beneath, wherein an army lays at wait. Dozens of arcanists, dozens of warriors, many that would happily or passively give their lives for the cause, because they're not necessarily giving their lives for the cause. We bring in a fourth wizard to this endeavor. Millie, would you like to give a description to of your character for everyone?
Millie is a rock gnome, archaeologist / wizard / treasure hunter, and tomb raider. Wearing slacks, a buttoned shirt, a casual vest, and a satchel at his side, dusty and dirty and kind of worn all over. He is closely accompanied by two taller figures wearing black cloth outfits and capes with no skin showing, and wearing ornate stone masks. And they are well armed.
Fantastic. As you come out from the hordes of people with your bodyguards, the Dominus Porta looks over the army of realized soldiers. The combination of stone magic, essentially making a terracotta army to be true polymorphed over years for this endeavor. The Dominus Porta then looks over towards a warrior not among the rank and file, a leader of warriors, a leader of knights. Sigismund, would you like to describe your character?
So Sigismund is a human male. I suppose a big difference for his friends. He'll now have a very well kept beard and slicked back hair, wearing ornate plate armor in the breastplates in sort of the shape of a wolf's head. And he has a long sword on one side and sort of a whip on the other side. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Is it that whip still?
Yeah.
Nice.
as you come out from the rank and file as well, having done your last instructions of passing on your knowledge and tactics to this army of soldiers, the Dominus Porta looks over the entire crew that has been assembled. He looks to Millie. You have decided where you will be sending your units.
Yeah, so long as the plan was approved.
It seems that whether or not the plan is approved, the time has come. Where will you be sending your armies?
Oh, let me scroll back up.
No problem.
It would have been Arborea. I think Elysium. I didn't write it down. I wrote it down on a big long list.
The power of editing!
I know, right?
Arborea, Abyss, and the 9 Hells of Beator.
Okay. Yes, because the other one is Celestia.
This operation's gonna go smoothly, guys.
It's like
So, through the
Billy's just,
power of
dropping
editing.
papers everywhere.
Would you like to answer his question?
They will be heading to Arborea, the Abyss, and the 9 Hells.
Good. That is going to take out 4 points of a square across the plains. And with that, as he says that, there is going to be this glimmering and shimmering of breaking through the planes of existence, this spectral hawk of starlight. And as it kind of sweeps down to meet with the rest of your crew, it unfolds into a humanoid form. Jorg, would you like to describe your character to the group?
Yes, Jorg is a tall, blonde humanoid, long hair tied back. He has tan trousers, nice black pair of boots, a rather nice yet worn overcoat, and belt slung over his chest with a satchel on his side, and yeah.
Okay.
Give you guys a quick bow.
And as you give that quick bow to everyone, the Dominus Porta immediately engages you. I take your coming means that you've gotten Celestia on our side, and you have delivered the cubic gate.
Yes, correct. Seluna has decided to help your cause. Decided it's quite worthy, and she sent me here as her emissary to assist you in this.
Wonderful. In that case, he pulls from his robes a series of these fist-sized metal cubes with discs on them. He hands out a few of them to kind of the leaders of the different regiments of the army that you have established. And then he gives another greater selection to all of you. You can see that upon this cube, the top side of it is emblazoned with an independent plane of the outer planes. The bottom side of it has the symbol for the prime material, and then surrounding the 4 panels of like a ring around it is going to be all the same symbol of the Outlands. With that, we will send the armies out now to maintain balance. If Selune is going with the goodly gods that work with us, they will be claiming that trellis, that point that solidifies Mount Celestia as one of the outer planes immediately. With that, he raises his hands, and as he does so, giant blasts of light begin to gather the different regiments of the army, sending them off to their predetermined destinations that Millie has discussed. As they go off, seeking their own quarries to maintain the balance, claiming the central metaphysical trellises, the anchor points, the keystones of each of those planes. The Dominus Porta then looks at all of you. You have time as the great wheel will not be unbalanced until you start to act in your own sections. You have the remaining outer planes. Choose the order in which you wish to go there. Discuss among you. When you get to the trellis of each plane, activate the cubic gate at that location. It will bring you back to me, where I can send you to the next destination. Once all 16 outer planes have been claimed, we will be gathering within the Outlands themselves the concordant opposition. He then kind of steps back for all of you. You have a selection of outer planes that you all need to take care of, but it is up to you to decide which order to begin in.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Porta. Yes, this is a grave matter to discuss then. It is of my opinion that we should end with Carcerai. Due to the nature of the plane itself, to keep prisoner those who make their way in. If we leave it for last, then at the very least we can guarantee that the planes are balanced at the very least. And then we'd have to work on an escape plan.
Well, we could always jump in deep. 9 levels deep. From our way out. Then seems like a way to start.
If you are referring to the 9 hells of Beator, we have just sent some regiments of the army in that direction.
I missed that note. Understood.
You're fine.
Oh, wait, what's left?
I have it in the roll 20.
Perhaps we should start with the more chaotic planes and then head towards the lawful good. And leave Carcer for last, of course, as I suggested.
I choose chaos.
Pandemonium. Blow out our ears first.
Pandemonium. What else?
Definitely get our blood pumping at Eastguard.
Eastguard, then Beastlands, then perhaps Gehenna, Acheron, then Arcadia and Brightopia.
If you're going to start in Pandemonium, I believe there's one more individual that I need to bring into this. This individual has already fought their battles and is seeking a peaceful life, though I am afraid that is not something that might be possible. With that, he swings his hand wide, forming another portal. And as it opens up, you get this scent of herbs and incense and a cool breeze as the portal is opened up to an herbalist's hut. And he looks in. Elder Healer, I did not wish to disturb you, but we need your assistance and guidance.
So I assume it's Buck.
It is Buck.
Alright. Yeah, as the portal opens, you see a person draped in not necessarily armor, but different types of furs and some armor made of wood. He has puffy white hair that is held by little tiny beads into different lengths, and from his forehead there are 2 big horns protruding that are adorned with many different, like, golden and wooden trinkets. He turns around, and Sigismund and Celeste, you see he has now a dense but short white beard as well. And he says, It's time for that. Wait a second. And he goes to a far end of the room, grabs a huge satchel that is well kept, and he drops everything he's doing, steps through the portal. I thought it would be now sometime. So where are we going? And he's going to embrace Sigismund and Celeste, since we haven't seen each other for such a long time.
Yes.
And we're gonna turn to the rest of the room. The name's Buck. Who are you guys? I assume we make introductions.
Easily done so. So, as you make your introductions, the Dominus Porta eventually gets back to answering your question of, it seems the first location shall be Pandemonium, a great series of cavernous tunnels, shrieking with wind and echoes. It can take forever to get your way through, and you can go mad by the time you get to anywhere you even possibly intended. If we are to make any solid time with the rest of this plan, I will need you to guide them swiftly towards the trellis. I can get you in the vicinity, as with all of these trellises, but with the amount of barren rock that is everywhere, being within a mile of the trellis could still mean 24 miles, twisting and winding through maddening chaos to get there.
Consider it done.
The Dominus Porta looks across the rest of the group. Is there anything else that needs to be discussed before we begin this?
Do we have any update on opposition?
Within Pandemonium, the only opposition is likely to be those maddened there. If you can find the trellis, those there will not know what it is, though it being a source of power, they will want to protect it.
Yep. Deal with the trellises.
With that, you lot having your cubic gates, each one designed for a different plane, the Dominus Porta opens yet another portal, as is his role here, facilitating the entire operation. And with that, you lot step through, not into the light, cool breeze and incense of the Timberbank Healer's Hut, but instead into the dark, screaming caves of Pandemonium. With this, I will bring you guys to our first map. And this is going to be our first combat challenge of the evening, jumping right into a combat.
Oh wow! Let's
So,
go.
Here.
You guys
Okay.
are going to be at the bottom of the screen within our landing zone cavern. Each of these regions are significant time to get there, but following the main mechanics of how we play this crossover codex, on your turn you can move one region, each of them delineated by their names, or you may move two regions. The difference is if you're only moving one, you can still take an action using a special ability or a narrative power. I will say that your narrative abilities are very important in this combat, as many of the different regions of Pandemonium have deleterious effects. You may use your narrative powers, whether you have power 0 or power 1. You may use your narrative abilities when you enter into a region to prevent its special ability from activating. So, with this, we're going to be dropping into our first combat, and with this we get to our initiative decks. As I hit everything, we have those two units, and we will be starting off our initiative deck with Millie. Millie, you landing in this landing zone, you can see that despite having the knowledge of the trellis chamber far ahead, there is a screaming wind tornado cavern of just constant billowing energy, and you see flying through it hordes and hordes of mephits. There are 24 mephit minions within the screaming wind tornado. What would you like to do, Millie?
So now would be a time to use a narrative ability to prevent something?
When you go into a region, correct. The landing zone cavern does not have a narrative ability.
Alright. Let's leave that for later. I will use my movement. And let's just kind of start exploring. Use my movement and go up to Harrow Hovels.
Okay. As you enter into the Harrow Hovels, there's many different alcoves that are filled with these small, slightly pig-faced, gorilla-like dretch demons. All of them trying to get out of the wind, all trying to stay in their hovels. However, any great disturbance to their region might provoke them. So you can either use a narrative ability to stop them from being bothered, or you may use any other special ability on your turn, or move again.
I am going to play it safe. Use my narrative ability. It's dark in here.
It is dark in here, yes.
Alright, I am out of everybody's sight already. Going to put on my ring of reduction and crawl up inside one of my minions to reduce our overall foot traffic by 50%. And they're also darker colored to kind of be a bit swifter.
Okay, so as you begin to lead your way into the Harrow Hovels, giving your companions an idea of what is in that region, the Dretch hordes, or any guardian they have, has not yet been disturbed. We will continue on to Buck. Buck, what would you like to do?
So first of all, with everything unfolding in front of us, Buck will take the pack that he has, which is a tightly wrapped object. He's gonna grab one end and unroll it, and what emerges from the unrolling of it in the air is a ornate bow with different notches on it. It looks kind of weird, and he grabs it from the air. I think I'm gonna need this one again. And the blue thing that it was wrapped in, he will throw around his neck as a scarf. And the minion mephit horde is a single entity, but I can only attack it from this location, right?
So you have to be in the region to attack it, and I will let you know that because it's a minion, each of them are independent minions, so even if you don't have a power ability, a basic attack can take one out, or a group attack can kill many of them. There would be 24 different tokens on the field, but that would be too many for the size of our map.
Alright. In that case... So, and if I now go into these Harrow Hovels, I would trigger the event again of the location,
yes,
right?
You would trigger the event again.
Okay. Then Buck will slither over here, and my narrative ability will be that, I mean, I assume I'm gonna try to be quiet, but still fast, but depending on what happens, I might change what narration is happening. So,
Perfectly
I'm going
fine.
to the Flying River.
Okay, the Flying River is quite literally a river of water just pumping through the center of this cavern. As you guys walk around, the gravity pulls you to the outside of whatever tunnel you're in, so you could theoretically walk in a circle around the caverns of Pandemonium, and with that, the rivers, as opposed to necessarily going against one wall, are kind of groups stuck between all walls with their cohesion, and it just flies through the center. So with this, you may either go carefully, or if you want, the Flying River will actually, if you allow it to take you, it will pump you into the echoes of insanity.
I mean, sure thing. If it I mean, I could use my narrative ability then to not trigger Echoes of Insanity because I'm not using anything here, right?
You could, yes.
Okay, yeah, then Buck will go there. His eyes will widen but still look incredibly bored. He says, "Oh, that's convenient." And he just dashes off one wall right into the river, streamlining his body to be pumped into the next area.
Okay. Upon doing so, getting pumped into the next area, all of the different chambers that are connected by these little thoroughfares between provide these independent echo chambers that if the screaming of the winds and the splitting of the river was bad before, it is really bad now. It is almost overbearing as you come in here. So you saved your action to be able to prevent the echoes of insanity from affecting you. How do you prevent that?
Well, Buck has long hair. He's just gonna put some of his puffy white hair in his ears.
Your sheep-like wool hair?
Yes, exactly. My wool hair, which is incredibly dense.
Okay, fantastic. With that, we are going to go ahead and go on to the next individual. This is going to be our Shadow Lord. As you splash into the river, kind of enter into the echoes of insanity, the Shadow Lord, who is drawn to the power of the trellis but doesn't have any sense of what it actually is about, now feels this life force as he is going to drift with his movement over into the echoes of insanity. And as he does so, the temperature in here drops and it chills and chills, and as he kind of enters, it's like a Dementor entering into the area as he begins to suck the life force from you. This champion is going to attack you for 2 damage.
Incredible.
So you take 2 damage from your 10 health, and with that is the champion Shadow Lord's turn as he's coming to feed on the life of someone that will actually react to him.
This is colder than Twilight Stew. Ugh.
Fantastic. With that, we go on to Norin. Norin, what would you like to do?
Alright, well, I mean, Norin fully believes that he's here to represent the front line and step headfirst into the enemy. So he's going to move up into the Screaming Wind Tornado. As he moves into that area, he will cast Fly on himself so that he can be not tossed about on the ground, but tossed about in the air.
Okay. What was that?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. So you were using your narrative ability to not be affected by the Screaming Wind Tornado. Which means that we're good to move on to our next individual, which is going to be Sigismund. It seems that our party is split 3 ways, trying to clear out any dangers. That way, when you regroup at the trellis, you can take care of it without having any enemies also brought back with you. So, Sigismund.
I believe Sigismund would probably try to follow Buck into the flying river.
Okay. So, moving off towards the flying river region, you then follow him jumping in and getting whisked your way up to the echoes of insanity. There you have the choice to either deal with the echoes or save your action to combat the Shadow Lord.
There's not a lot going on in Sigismund's head, so I will save my action.
Okay. As you whisk in here, you feel the temperature, you see kind of the draining of life from Buck, and then you hear just this multitude of the shrieks and the sorrows of people probably long dead, their echoes just remaining. And with that, as you come in, you're immediately going to be kind of knocked off kilter. Your strategy, your tactics are going to be knocked down. And because you have not used your action, you're going to take 1 psychic damage, so you're going to take 1 point of damage for entering this area. But then you can do whatever you wish with the Shadow Lord.
I'd just like to, if I see him attacking Book, I'd just like to attack and just sort of gauge where I'm. Use my hero.
Okay. So you're just going to use a basic attack?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Saving up a couple resources immediately to kind of gauge this enemy. So that's going to be 1 damage. So we will go ahead and mark that, and you guys should see the champion's health bar go down.
But by how much?
Ah, that's the trick. Okay. Do you have any narrative for how you are assaulting the Shadow Lord?
At this point, Sigismund will unsheath Briar's Bane and just sort of... He'll just sort of dance around and sort of pirouette around, trying to basically size up his enemy.
Okay. And with those nicks going out, drawing Briar's Bane, this one-handed sword that is kind of the shadow of Yorn Buck's past as you fight the shadow before you, we'll go ahead and we'll move on to Celeste.
Is my understanding that in order to balance the plane, we have to defeat the champions, or could I just go to the trellis room and...
If you go to the trellis room without your friends and without the enemies slain, the enemies can come back with you to Nelbora.
Okay. I see. Alright. As much as Celeste wants to help Buck and Sigismund, I think she would go try to help deal with the Screaming Methods tornado area. And I think she's going to not use her action narrative ability to stop the effect of the chamber.
Okay. So as you kind of lift yourself into the Screaming Wind Tornado, using your air genasi powers, trying to stabilize you a little bit, but not putting any concerted effort into it. You do get tossed and turned a bit. And the next special ability you use is considered 1 less.
Till my next turn, or just in general?
In general, yep. The next one you use during this combat is 1 less.
Alright, in that case, that changes what I'm gonna do. I will use my 0 attack to attack the horde. I assume they take notice of us first.
They're definitely taking notice of you. They're going next. I will let you know, with a -1, that 0 is a -1, and minions are power level 0.
I see.
You will create another minion, right? That's how it works.
I didn't know that was considered a special ability as well. In that case, I'll just move again to the trellis chamber.
Okay.
But I'm not going to deal with the trellis.
Okay. So, not using the special ability on the trellis chamber, as you enter in, the trellis kind of feels you bringing those cubic gates near, and it's like beginning to interact. It surges, and with that, all current enemies on the field will move 1 region closer to the trellis chamber. In this case, entering the trellis chamber.
Very typical of Celeste. Very typical to just mess with the enemies like this. All right. That's all I can do. Yeah, so with that, they go to do stuff and then they get surged back. At which point we are going on to the minions, the Mephits. There are 24 Mephits. These Mephits are going to... They're going to split. So I have to remake them. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So where's that? 8 are going to stay in here with you.
8 are going to go back with Norin, and 8 are going to go in with Buck and Sigismund. And then they are each going to attack who's in the chamber. So, Celeste, you are attacked by 8 mephits. That is 1 damage per mephit. Any defensibility you have can be used for grouping all of those together as they are attacking as a horde. So do you have any defense self abilities?
No.
You get utterly swarmed by these mephits of frost and flame and dust and soot and salt. Just taking you down to 2 health.
Typical.
Both Buck and Sigismund, there are 8 mephits in there, so they're going to split 4 and 4 to attack for 4 damage on each of you. Do either of you have a defense ability you would like to use?
I do not.
Okay. With that, as they come shrieking in, flying back, forth, through the echoes of insanity, through the darkness, biting and nipping and spitting salt and flaring steam, you each take 4 points of damage. And then we go to Norin. Norin, who is flying in the screaming wind tornado. There are 8 attacking you for what would be a total of 8 damage. Do you have any defensive self-abilities?
I do. I have a very potent... at this point, my Abjuration Ward has built up to quite a very high tolerance of damage. So I will be using my defense self as a power level 4.
Ooh. So that's going to cut that damage down by 4, I believe?
I would hope so.
Yes. Sorry, a lot of the abilities are 2x, 2 times the level, so I wanted to make sure. But yeah, it's cutting it by 4, so you're only going to take 4 points of damage.
Wait, what type of defensibility is it? Is it level 2 or level 4?
Level 4.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Yep.
also it doesn't double.
Yeah, that's one of the few that does not double.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, sad.
But yeah, with that, as they're shrieking and moving about and getting pulled towards the trellis and then like, no, I want to eat that. No, I want to eat that. We'll finish up the first round with Jorg.
Wow. Well, okay. I'm going to walk into the room here with Nora, and I have to try to resist the room, correct?
You can use your action to resist the room, or you can accept that the next ability you use is going to be at -1.
Okay. I think I'm just going to resist the room for this turn.
Okay. Getting in there as you use your Storm Tempest sorcery abilities to kind of control the ebbs and flows around you. Anything else, Jorg?
No, that'll do it for me.
Okay. With that, we go to the top of a new initiative. These are completely randomized each time. So with that, we're going to go to Sigismund. You get to go first.
Okay. I will try my best to deal with these methods, and I will take the whip off my other side. And what language was it? Was it deep speech to activate?
Yes. The turtle axe tendril being an acid whip appendage part of a deep fell creature. That is deep speech.
Then I will utter the words in deep speech and activate the tendril, and I will use my power level 4 attack group. Is it? Wait, would this, because there's multiple of them, would it be a group or would it just be a solo?
This is a group. This is a group of minions, and the attack group is specifically for minions. And at power level 4, that doubles to 8, and so this ability perfectly can annihilate the entire Mephit horde that's in there with you.
Yeah, I will do that. I will start to sort of circle. I don't know how to describe it properly, but sort of flail the whip around and turn into a tornado of death and just melt through them.
Fantastic. As they attempt to fly by, the whip snapping back and forth, and not so much doing the snaps, but just the acid that it gives off, just vaporizing in the air and just kind of melting them. And with that, that is your action. You can still move to the to another chamber if you wish.
It will go into the chamber. To see if I can divert some attacks from souls.
Fantastic. With that, as you enter the trellis chamber once more, it's sensing more cubic gates. That is going to pull the minions in with Norn and Jorg back up into the trellis chamber.
Great. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, with that we go on to Millie. Millie, you've gone off into some tunnels by yourself. Always a smart thing to do in Pandemonium. What's going on?
I'm whispering inside my skeletal cage because I can't talk to them. And I can't talk to myself because I'm trying to be quiet. And at this point, I think... Oh, dear goodness. I have put myself in a position. Keep on going forward, I guess, at this point. I will move on up into the twisting caverns. And what am I faced with?
You're faced with twisting, maze-like caverns.
Alright. I will... Is there a challenge to overcome in this area?
There is a challenge to overcome. If you attempt to move through in a single turn, you guys would be taking plot damage as you will get yourself lost for a little bit.
Okay, so I'm going to pump up some magic, hop out of my guy, and split up, and also throw an arcane eye out and navigate.
Fantastic. Always fun to split the party. With that, we are going to go to Jorg. Jorg.
Okay. Just watch my potential attackers get sucked into another room. Let's head forward. Let's float on into the next room and see what we can do, shall we?
Okay, and there are no more enemies not in the trellis chamber, so the trellis chamber effect does not happen.
Okay, so I can do an action. Thank goodness. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to say a couple words, do a hand gesture, and throw a level 2 fireball group attack at these guys.
Okay, so with that level 2 gets doubled up to 4 minions, and so we'll go ahead and bring that down to 4. There's a total of 12 left, currently in 2 separate bundles for moving across the map, but there is a total of 12 left.
Tricky little suckers. Alright, that's it for me.
Okay, and with that we do go to the Mephits, and with 12 Mephits in this chamber and 3 enemies, do they want to go all, or Norn's still back there, Millie is in the twisting caverns and not likely to get out soon. Everyone is within 1 region. We're going to split them up 3 ways, so 12 times 3, that's 4 each?
4. 12 divided by 3 is 4.
Because math, I know how to do that, right guys? So this one's gonna go on with Millie. This one's gonna, they continue to get drawn up into the trellis chamber, but you have the dust methods and the steam methods, and you have all these very aerosolized methods that are like, no, I want to be back in this chamber. This is where I'm better. And so, Millie, that is going to be a series of shadow salt dust methods coming at you for 4 damage, Millie.
Copy.
With that, that's going to be another 4 going after Norin. Norin, how's that feel?
So can I use a reactive ability to take initiative and take my action before.
Before the
they
methods?
can attack me.
Yeah. So that would actually happen when their turn is drawn. So before they even split up to go anywhere, you can go ahead and use your reactive initiative if you wish.
Okay, cool. So I will do that, and I will do that. I will instinctively Misty Step my way into the room. Doing that very quickly as the action formerly known as bonus. And I will, as I'm hopping into the room, I'm going to grab a fistful of gravel just off of the ground and launch it into the air as it starts to swirl, and then it separates and it will attack 4 of the mephits in a cluster with a level 2 power, animate objects attacking a group.
Okay, with that, actually, with the reactive, the level 1 power, you get to add that 1 to the next thing. So your power 2 attack group goes to a power 3 attack group, and then when you double that, that doubles up to 6. So you can take out 6 of them.
Excellent.
Nice.
So, thip, 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 and then just dust flying everywhere, and steam.
Okay. So that was a very good reactive, like, oh no, we want to go before that. So now we have 6. I have to redo math. It's just going to split 3 and 3 again. Actually, it's not even going to split 3 and 3. And the reason for that is there's 4 people in this chamber, so we're just going to put that back to 4 like it was. And then we're going to put 1 in with Millie, and then we're going to put 1 in with Buck.
Oh, no.
So that is going to be 1 attack on Buck. Buck, how are you doing?
I am at 3 HP.
Okay, so you're definitely taking some injuries now.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Injury.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
A lot of them. There's going to be 1 going on over to Millie into the twisting caves, no longer the big one that it was. I hope if you already did that damage, you take it away, Millie. Okay, so there's 1 over on Millie. Millie, how you looking?
Annoyed.
Okay, so you're at 9 health.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that's all squared away. And then we have 4 remaining in the trellis chamber, and that's just going to be 1 attack each. 1 damage to each of you. Okay. And with that, we go on from the methods back to Norin.
Oh man, it looks like I missed one. I guess I'm gonna shoot out a magic missile into the little mephit horde to try to pick off a couple more. This is going to be a basic attack, power level 1.
Okay, so that's going to take us down to 3 mephits remaining in the main chamber. And then staying in that region?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to Celeste.
Use my level 4 down to 3. Attack solo blade of disaster on the champion.
Ooh.
So that's 6, only 6 damage,
Okay.
which I think will leave it on 1 HP.
You are incorrect. That is going to slay it. How do you want to slay it?
Oh yeah, Celeste is horribly bloodied, like prone on the ground. Yeah, great run for the first, and I didn't want to use it this early, but I have no choice. Might as well use it before I die. And I will slice it in half.
Okay. So, the Blade of Disaster just peeling through the shadow creature. Who cares if it's mostly shadow and negative energy and all this stuff? Blade of Disaster. With that, we would go to the Shadow Lord's turn. So instead, we finish up with Buck.
Alright. I mean, what's there to do? I will as this creature that I think everything's gone, Buck wants to take a breath, but this one creature comes back in, start hitting his head, and he just flashes a dagger and cuts it clean through in the air, dashes the dagger, and do I want to enter this chamber? Because then this one will return. I think not. Buck will stay here. That's it. That's my turn.
Okay. With that,
He's gonna watch through this crevice.
And as you do so, we go back to Celeste. We're getting a lot of quick double ups.
Well, zero attack. Some of these methods with my firebolts and my. I think I just have firebolts. Right now. Oh wait, how many methods are in here actually?
There were 3 in the chamber with you.
3 in the chamber with me? In that case... Yes, I think I will attack it with a firebolt to merit attack 0.
Okay, and get that down to 2. With that, as we're picking them off, a handful of methods, 3 of them still harrying. For most of you, this is your first time doing big planar travel, and Pandemonium was a heavy and hard start.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Buck, despite kind of like holding it back and looking and then seeing someone get zapped, like, your opportunity to act is now as I continue to double us back up.
Alright. We will probably not be able to heal up between missions, right? It's just we
only
get
if
what
you
we
have special abilities that allow you to heal. Yeah.
All right. How many methods are here? 2, right?
2 in the trellis chamber, and then if you were to enter, not doing anything to quell them, the one with Millie would come back.
All right. Then I will. Buck will enter this chamber. Not do anything to quell them, as you say. And he will see Celeste in a state of unsatisfactory health. And Buck will dash over to her in a flash. I'll tell you know what's happening now. And I will show her the tiny golden needle that I will take from one of the beads in my hair. And I will pierce it into your sternum, and you will regain precisely 8 hit points.
8?
It's a solo ability. It heals twice, right?
Solo heals are 2x.
2x,
Yep.
and it's a level 4 ability, so you heal 8. 8 is what you were missing, right?
Yes.
Nice.
And then damage, yes. I
Alright.
do. Thank you, Buck.
Don't mention it.
Okay.
Don't get hit again.
Moving on to Millie, being harried in the darkness, and then, despite all the tactics you've used to try to find your way, the very end of the twisting caverns, you are actually being led back by the methods being drawn to the trellis chamber.
I will proceed. Come on, guys. Let's. This is. I've been hearing sound from that way for like 3 minutes now. They're in danger. We're dragging our feet. This is really cool in here, but let's go. So I will come onto the rune, kind of stomping my little gnome feet, and we're gonna get a little achievement on the bottom of the screen that pops up. Gnome wizards play with gravel in the same room. As I just use my basic attack, I a sharp, pointy rock flies up without even any indication. It just, I'm walking and it flies up and strikes one.
Okay, fantastic. With that, we go to Sigismund.
I will also use a basic attack and try lasso one out of the air with my whip.
Easily done. And with that, that brings us to a single Mephit remaining. We have 3 draws left in the initiative deck. The chances are in your favor to act before the Mephit again. But I drew the Mephit. Okay. So with that, this is going to go ahead and we're going to target Millie. Millie, as you've come in, fresh meat, relative to some of the others in here. It is going to like separate going away from Sigismund, who is lassoing one, and then kind of like backtrace the spike that you sent to do 1 damage on Millie.
Ow.
With that, we're going to end with Jorg. Jorg, how would you like to basic attack finish off the final minion?
Quick hand motion, extend my right arm, grab the wrist with the other hand, and just blast it with a ray of frost.
Fantastic. With that, with all the enemies dealt with in this section of the Caves of Pandemonium, within the Trellis Chamber, you can see what appears to be almost this kind of ethereal obelisk that they've all been reacting to as you guys have come in and out and in and out. And with it, one of you certainly has the Pandemonium cubic gate with the symbol of Pandemonium on top for you guys to set at the trellis to activate. So I just
guys, who has it?
I just open up to you for any story.
I'm sorry.
Turns out the secret danger of the Screaming Wind Tornado is it steals the cubic gate. But with that, you activate it. It kind of locks onto this trellis, and then there's the flash of light as you guys surround it. The return portal sucking you back to Nilbora, back to the base of the top half of the Chroniker, and to the Dominus Porta, looking at you, seeing the amount of haggardness of the group with this just look of, this plan might not work after all.
Oh, it's true.
Perhaps we just started a bit heavy-handed.
I don't know, those caves were pretty cool.
Methods.
So what are our health conditions currently?
We probably put a table out or something.
4.
Oh, I'm at 3.
Norin is right at bloodied. At 5.
Alright, nice.
Jorg is at 9.
I'm also at 9.
8.
Sigismund?
Fractured back rides again.
Yeah, looking quite fractured over here.
Very typical of us. My apologies again for... I did not expect it to summon them back. That's my mistake.
Who would have thunk? Well, we're gonna get through this.
It sounds like a trellis at one of the most chaotic planes certainly played with your plans. Would you prefer to go more lawful this time, or what is your plan to follow that up?
Perhaps more dichotomous to Arcadia, the exact opposite of what we went through.
Well, if in doubt, a good friend of mine always said, let's just kill him. It was Broxton.
Well, I would not suggest following that advice in Arcadia. They are known as the peaceable kingdoms of Arcadia, and with that, I bid you not to cause any problems there if you are going to go opposite Pandemonium. Within Arcadia, the trellis acts as a centerpiece for the kingdoms. Arcadia is built in order. There are cities and towns and villages. There are farms. There are rivers that run straight like rulers. Arcadia is quite lawful, though it does not seek to put that influence outside of itself. If you wish to go there next, you will need to find the trellis as a keystone. You will need to find it following the patterns of the plane itself, of the kingdoms, of the agriculture, of the terrain, the ebbs and flows. You will find it at a structural point within the plane. Are you ready to go there now?
I am. Sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
With that, he opens once more a portal to drop you to another plane of existence. This one being Arcadia, as we have discussed. What we have is an impressionistic label. We have the ordered orchards, the straight rivers, the spaced out kingdoms, the very set fields. We have the lower layers of a bit more desolation without the cultivation. We have the great orb like a sun and moon together, shining bright on one side, dark on the other. And this is going to be an exploration challenge to find your way through the rhyme and rhythm of Arcadia to where this spectral trellis might be. So, as an exploration challenge, if you have exploration abilities, they are much more efficient at finishing this challenge, though any special ability may be used. Experts might be able to use their basic narrative abilities for a single point to inch our way towards the ends, though if too many attempts are made, there will slowly be consequences as we hit the length of the challenge the first time, the second time, the third time. So, how do you guys want to go about finding your way through Arcadia?
If I use an information exploration that does not use the that does not lower the points of the
Correct.
challenge.
It does not lower the points, though it also, Yeah. It would not lower the points, but you would immediately know the danger level you're looking for, the total power you're looking for.
And could I use that not as information? Could I just use it as exploration?
You could just use it as exploration, so if it's power level 1, it would count for 2 points, since it matches the type of the challenge.
Alright. Does anyone else want to do something before I do something? Or I can just do it now.
Sorry. We're sitting on a pretty good pile of exploration abilities, I think, right?
Mine is pretty weak. I could just use it to gauge like the number of points we need for this one, if you guys want to.
I like knowing things. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Sure. So, Josh, can you exactly describe like this place? What is it where we are supposed to get here?
So similar to getting to the trellis chamber of the last pandemonium, you're going to look for where that spectral trellis is across this entire plane of existence. So
all right.
You could use your knowledge of the land, knowledge of geometry, knowledge of the planes, any form of information you may have, both personal or reading it across the plane to find your way to where that trellis is.
Okay. In that case, Buck will cross his arms and he will say, Norzim, you heard what they're asking. Do you know anything? I'll just ask him. Maybe he knows something.
Okay, and so are you using your level 2 exploration ability for points? Or you?
No, for information.
For information. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're aware.
That's
yeah.
what Norzim does, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. So you're aware, if you do save that ability, you could use it to get the knowledge of 2 challenges in like a battle at the same time, or you could just use it now for the exact danger level. So making sure it's an informed choice.
Wait, so what you said is, if I save it, I can use it in a battle. Oh, because it's a level 2, it allows me to get information about 2 different challenges, right?
Yes. So if there's another battle and with multiple champions or something, you could get both of those answers.
Well, Norzim wouldn't be able to just tell me if there's a battle up ahead, right?
Buck, hold on a sec. And I will throw up an arcane eye into the air, and will activate my cautious exploration power 3 to see if it'll cover it.
Okay. So with that, your cautious exploration 3, that would count as 6, and 6 is not enough to finish this challenge.
Alright, I'll pull it down for the time being.
Okay.
Right, but 6 is a pretty good start, right?
I'll let everybody know that it's gonna be a while. We got a large horizon.
Okay, so we have that additional information. Going back to Buck. Buck, now that you have the possibility of knowing that you could use that ability somewhere else with a little more efficiency, you can still use it now to get the exact number. Do you want to?
I'm gonna ask the group. I think my instinct would be to save it, but I don't know if there will at any point be something where we want to know 2 target numbers at once. What does the group think?
Well, I have basically the same thing. And I mean,
and you have it level 3 or something, right?
No, mine's just a level 1.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, then you can do it. That's nice.
So
you could do it right now. It would just give us the number for this challenge perfectly.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do it.
So much more efficient to use the power level 1 on a exploration challenge to learn the danger level. So what is your power level 1 information ability, Sigismund?
Being smart.
Yeah. I don't know. I themed it off of Know Your Enemy.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's more than enough for me to take it forward. Do you want me to just take it forward?
I suppose I'd use it in a way, because I have my own keep, that looking at the lay of the land, where would be the most strategical point to hold like the place of power. Okay.
So as you look at this, you don't necessarily see it as some place to hold it as you're reading the terrain, but you see this kind of metaphorical hill of where things are kind of branching away from and moving from this kind of like central point of like rays of the sun coming out from the center of this orderly positioning. And as you kind of take that information in and then see how other keeps are positioned around that, so as opposed to a single keep, a bunch of them, I'm gonna let you know that this is danger level 7.
Oh.
So the 6 almost would have done it.
If you do not wish to use your ability, I can use mine as a way to recompense what happened in Pandemonium. I will use my level 3 exploration just as the points, just to study. Celeste spent a lot of time with her nose in various books. I think she can quite easily make connections and patterns.
Okay.
to spend 6 points towards this challenge.
Fantastic. So with that, taking the initial information that Sigismund gives you and then kind of like doing this double hologram, kind of like, okay, but what's the underlying structure and where are the nodes and where's the ley lines and kind of those things that would eventually lead the second Kesha to fall, seeing how they overlay in this place, and then you begin to guide your companions in that way using small teleportations and, dimension doors and teleports, moving your way closer and closer, getting to this central location where you guys end up, as opposed to a hill, it's a bit more of a valley that acts as like this downward metaphysical pressure on the rest of the plane where the trellis would reside. You guys have a single point left to finish this up. So any expert could actually finish this up on the next action. So who wants to finish up this narrative?
We have a couple experts, right?
Yeah. I could use my reactive level 1 ability, invisibility.
You don't even have to use a special ability. If you are an expert, your narrative abilities can be used on exploration challenges. So you could just describe anything. It doesn't have to be one of your special abilities.
Oh, okay. Then on my shoulder, a spectral hawk will form. It'll fly ahead of us, scout, come back, and lead us to our destination.
Okay, as you guys get to the valley, that hawk going out, like as it just wings through, going around, eventually the tips of the feathers begin to glow as it's just grazing by this trellis. It kind of spins tighter and tighter as it fully begins to glow, the hawk, as it fully identifies where that trellis is for you guys to then be guided back to it, to place your cubic gate and finish your second plane. Is there any narrative points you guys want to bring up before we teleport back to Nelbora?
A far cry from Pandemonium.
So much easier.
This was rather pleasant.
You might call it a walk in the park.
I mean,
Well played.
Yeah, it was a nice stroll.
yeah.
And Norin looks up from his spellbook. He was organizing it and writing notes and just kind of jotting down some ideas and things that he saw. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Are we done? Okay.
Yes.
Indeed. You did wonderfully.
I'm glad I could help. Right, let's go.
With that, the cubic gate activated, centering its focus on this trellis, and as it releases the second part of the magic, you guys get teleported back to Nelbora for what was a much easier time for the Dominus Porta. Like, okay, you have your feet under you. Now let's get moving. Let's get more done.
Perhaps Eastguard or Beastlands? Maybe Akron or Gehenna?
Oh, man.
I think Acheron and Eastguard might be a bit more violent.
Yes.
Gehenna, probably a much more dour version of what we just did. Where do we have Arborea, Beastlands. Beastlands will probably have to work with the inhabitants.
Arborea is being taken care of.
Did I say Arborea or the Beastlands? Both.
You said both.
Beastlands will have to probably contend with the native folk.
Actually, the Beastland should be one of the easiest we have for you. It's the least protected of the trellises. The bestial petitioners of the realm have no direct use for the support, and visitors come in peace or for the happy hunting grounds. So that's likely one to be found quickly and moved on.
Do we do it then very quickly then?
Yeah, I would say we knock it out.
Very well.
But the Beastlands.
Beastlands it is.
Beastlands.
Off we go.
He goes ahead, teleports you guys off, and the main layer of the Beastlands that you guys are going to be heading to is just this vast, wonderful wilderness of forest and jungles and exotic, flowers and blossoms and vines, and it's just, it's very wonderful. It's one of the more good. It's at the top of the good arc, pretty close to it. So with this, you have this location, and all souls that come to the Beastlands in death take the form of a beast to live out their afterlife. So you guys have another short exploration to try to find the trellis within the Beastlands.
All right. I think that I'll send out Albert to explore above the trees, just to see where we might have to head for this trellis.
Okay, and that's going to be
Expert.
An expert, okay. So that is going to be for 1 point. As he kind of looks around, you start to get like a decent idea of where to go. You see kind of, once more the ebbs and flows, and you see what is going to be kind of the deeper sections of the woods and the jungles where the trellis is likely to be, as opposed to the happy hunting grounds themselves. And you start moving in that direction. So that is 1 point in. You are not yet done.
I'll summon my little familiar friend Avery, who's also an owl, to go along with Albert. But mainly
Albert
just
away.
to kind of just to follow along, because it's a level 0 for me. So they're really there more for companionship.
Okay, just companionship.
Wonderful.
Does anyone else have a narrative expert ability or a special ability they want to use?
I don't think he'll do anything, but Sigismund will use his inner abilities and start sniffing the wind.
Okay.
Pick up a scent.
Okay. Start to pick up that scent, getting attuned with the Beastlands. There is a wolf that kind of walks on by over to the side that senses your inner beast.
Going to send out the arcane eye again. I think at this point, just given the conversation, even though no action or power is required to get the number, if 6 is going to be enough to complete it, I think we're well within those bounds. Correct?
So, at this point, we only have 1 point that has been spent on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be our second narrative ability from an expert. That's going to take us to 2 points. You guys are not yet done, and as you guys are going, you're slowly kind of figuring it out. This becomes a little bit more of a leisurely expedition, and you feel the danger coming upon you.
Just a second. I think Millie wanted to use their level 3.
Oh, they're level 3. I'm sorry.
Is that correct, Millie?
Yeah, Celeste, you are correct. I was just going to let it go because expert abilities.
If you want to use your expert, by all means, please.
Well, I misunderstood. So is that your level 3?
No, it's the freebie, because I can just use the power, the cautious. I did not use the word cautious, I apologize.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, cautious is more than enough to do it.
Yeah, 6 would be more than enough to complete it, but we're probably getting close to danger, as you said.
Mm-hmm. So which way do you want to go with it?
I will let it. Yeah, I'm gonna let it stand as a narrative.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Sorry for the confusion. With that'll be 2 points in. And you guys getting a bit more leisurely in this. We have hit the length of the challenge with you guys not having yet completed it, but so close. So narratively, what this consequence is This is going to be a level 3, a power level 3 plot damage. However, as opposed to being direct plot damage at the end of the game, this is going to be symbolized by the later challenges getting more difficult. So you guys may either accept that as the later challenges are going to get more difficult, or someone may use a plot defense ability to keep you guys from spending too long.
I have a plot defense ability. You guys think I should burn it? It's a 4.
How strong is it?
4. I have a 2 and a 5 myself.
I have just a 5.
If you want, it's a matter of whether we want to go over or under with this defense.
I think if we go under and have just a little bit more peril, then that would be better maybe than overspending. I'm not confident in that.
I agree. I think if you use the 2 opposed to a +1, it's better than
Alright,
using a 5 and it being minus.
what's ailing us then?
This is going to be you guys feeling that you are getting slower, lackadaisical, not having the swiftness. So later on, with the delay in time, the other challenges are going to grow. So whatever you want to do to speed up your companions, like, okay, let's not dilly-dally, whatever that is.
Alright. Celeste is obviously very wants to please Mr. Porta. I think, yes, Celeste would use a level 2 plot defense to probably cast fly on all of us, so that we could all move relatively quickly with haste.
Okay.
Nice.
So you guys kind of speed up, and with that, we are currently 2 into this challenge, 2 power points into this challenge. And you know that you have another 2 actions before a consequence will occur. So you have 2 more actions to try to finish this up. And this can continue on with just narrative abilities if you want, or someone can use another special ability. I'm going to be honest, I don't recommend using a special ability at this point.
Just a little levitate here and there from Celeste, just to get vantage points.
Okay, and with a third narrative ability, that's 3 points. This was a danger level 3, not all that difficult. And with that, you guys kind of like getting a little lazy, and then like, okay, no, we have to get moving, and like, we might be going slow, but we're going slow. Flying slow is faster than walking slow. You guys will eventually find within the jungles just this blossoming of like, it's more of the anthers, the pistils of a flower that kind of rise up spiritually into this trellis than anything actually stone obelisk like. With that, you guys can place your cubic gate there and find yourself summoned back to Nelbora once more. Well, that is 3 down. A handful yet to go. Bitopia, Isgard, Kosarai, Gehenna, Acheron. Where would you have next?
Eastguard.
Very well.
I'm just going.
Let's just go.
Very well. The heroic domains of Isgard. The halls of the gods are built upon the trellis's foundation there. To fight a plain of undying warriors would not do us well. Beseech them for aid in this fight beyond any other means. With that, he teleports you off to the wonderful fjords and valleys and halls of Isgard, wherein you will easily find your way to the Valhallan halls, wherein the trellis has been built upon. or rather the hull has been built upon the trellis itself. This is going to be our first social challenge. So social challenges work a lot like exploration challenges. Social abilities are worth double, but as opposed to all those little information and cautious twists, each social ability you guys have has a subtype: persuasion, deception, or intimidation. Diplomacy, deception, intimidation. And as opposed to using the special ability power level, you can just gamble on the subtype to see if you've gauged whether Isgard responds well to diplomacy, deception, or intimidation. So you guys eventually will be approaching the halls of Odin, of countless warriors, heroes of ages past. Who do you guys want to lead this beseechment?
I'll give it a go. I will step forward ahead of the pack and I'll sort of present myself to. Is there like a head table?
Yeah, there's a head table with the one eye patch, kind of gray-haired, slightly more shrunken forward, but heavily kind of embroidered robes of Odin. You see the giant red-haired burly Thor. Like you've got gods at the table.
I'll approach the table, and I'll do a very respectful bow. My lords, we have come here today in the hopes to make some very great allies, and me and my companions here believe you warrior gods to be amongst the most powerful and valuable of allies. And I'll use my social diplomacy, Sigismund's silver tongue.
His silver tongue, fantastic.
Are you gambling?
Are you gambling, or are you taking that power level 3 up to 6 points?
What was the categories? Intimidation, persuasion, and diplomacy.
Diplomacy, intimidation, and deception. So, the great warriors that fight every day and party every night, do you think that they are prone to diplomacy over both deception and intimidation?
Well, well, this is me as a player, but as far as Isgard in our games, it was like an honourable type of place. I'm gonna go for the diplomacy. You're trying to intimidate Odin is not gonna work.
So I will clarify, because there are other social challenges coming, so this is good. Intimidation is not necessarily just trying to get them to back down, but it is engaging with people that respect strength. Deception can be deliberately deceiving or interacting with people that require shrewdness to get the job done. Diplomacy can be used for people that want peace, but also people that just want cooperation and want something out of it that is fair. So, it's not just intimidate cowards, lie to gullible people. It is also if eventually you guys speak to a great fiend, a great fiend might value shrewdness. So yeah, that's overall. You have not played the crossover Codex before, so that seems like a good thing to make sure you're aware of when you are gambling 6 points worth away on a 1 in 3 educated decision.
I think they would respect steadfast I'd go intimidate then, out of the three.
Okay, so your ability is diplomacy and not intimidation, so that is not something you would want to gamble on.
Right, sorry, so just to clarify, if I do this, it has to be a social diplomacy.
Correct. So you can use the social for the 6 points, or you can gamble diplomacy. When you make the special ability, you choose which subtype you're good at.
Right. I'll gamble the diplomacy.
Okay. And as you do so,
Alright, just before this, I just want to tell you, if you gamble your points, that was something that confused me last time. Your points will not go towards the solving of this thing. So it would be wasted if, just so you know. It's your decision.
Okay. I will attempt it, so.
okay.
Alright, nice.
So as you go in, you're speaking good words, real great words, but halfway through they're just done listening. They've been having a good night. The next morning they have to get back to battle, and you're just blathering, and you just have one person at the end. Silence! Does anyone else care to speak more curtly? Gambling on the diplomacy failed.
That's right.
What are we gonna do now? Oh yeah, go ahead.
As I step forward, the dust starts kind of falling off of me. And in a booming voice that grows, like kind of start talking and then it grows. You fight and you die, and you fight and you die. But you never know death. I will show you death. And the undeath beyond. And I will start transforming a little bit.
Okay.
Do something bigger and scarier, while also using a subtle cause fear. And I will gamble intimidation.
Okay, you will gamble intimidation. The gods and warriors of Asgard appreciate those that have earned their right and stand firmly and strongly and will not waver. And as you do so, Odin, who has just been sitting back this entire time, like, yeah, everyone else is kind of done with it, but he's at least heard the words that Sigismund has said. And now that you have gotten everyone's attention, like, it quiets the ravens Hugin and Munin kind of onto the either side of his chair, giving out cause. And then Odin just slowly kind of raises a hand for everyone.
By the time I'm done with it, I am in full stone armor with my stone shield and sword.
Oh, fantastic. So you have gone from little archaeologist gnome to Death Knight. And Odin then begins to speak. This is not how it was foretold. But my eyes, as he gestures to Hugin and Munin, have seen the preparations for war across the realms. If this is not the coming of Ragnarok, I do not know what is. Prepare yourselves for battle, and a battle that may be your last. And the hall begins to rise, and the warriors are moving out. Go ahead.
Throw my sword in the air.
There is response to that. And slowly, as the war parties getting more people ready to possibly join you in the Outlands, you guys find the head table being moved and the throne of Odin being moved aside to show where the branches of Yggdrasil kind of twist up within that throne as the trellis of Isgard. With that,
Nice.
placing the cubic gate. Okay.
I just want to, before we leave, can Sigismund just do a once around and just see if he sees any red dwarfs?
You do see a red-headed a mohawk kind of moving through the group. As a dwarf shorter than some of the bigger kind of like, barbarian humans and half-orcs and Goliaths and stuff. But, the mohawk that has since come back in the true spiritual self is cusping over their shoulders.
That's all I wanted.
Oh my god.
Well, then he's gonna help in the end. Anyway.
Very much so.
Nice.
With that, the cubic gates at the spiraled roots of Yggdrasil. You are attuned here. The portal launches you all back to Nelbora. And Isgard is done. We have still Bitopia, Carcerai, Gehenna, and Acheron.
Have to get the bad one. What do you think, Gehenna or Acheron? More lawful or more evil?
Are they all evil?
They're both evil, but which one? One's more lawful and one's more evil.
Maybe lawful? We could try to wheel and deal again?
Wheeling and dealing in Acheron.
Acheron it is. Now, before I send you there, this is one of the tricky ones. And I want you to measure what you do very carefully. Because even if we succeed in our endeavor, there could be hostile consequences. The trellis of Acheron is currently within the citadel of an entrenched army of devils. Acheron itself is made up of giant metal cubes that act as planetoid surfaces that are warred over eternally. It is referred to as the infernal battlefields of Acheron. We do not have time to fight and gain the citadel. We don't have the manpower, not with what is coming in the Outlands. My initial research has led me to a warlord capable of taking the citadel currently. He is a devil that should have been a demon prince who in ages past came close to overtaking all of the continent of Hiskalan. We must use him and his army to take the citadel, to get to the trellis. However, do not give him leverage. He will not operate for free. And given the opportunity, he will find his way back to the prime material to overtake it again. Do you understand me?
Yes. Don't give him leverage. Don't let him.
What's his name?
His name is Mordekin.
The Hiskalan region.
So we have to work with him, utilize his forces to obtain our goal.
Yes.
Ooh, boy.
And he will know he has leverage when you walk up to the table. He will demand certain acquiescences. Do your best to not give in. There may be areas that you have to falter, but know that every inch you give, he will be taking a country.
Ooh. Understood.
With that, the Dominus Porta does the incantation once again, and in doing so, teleports you to Acheron, to the great wastes and fields, the giant cubes of metal riddled with rust, riddled with molten lava, holes going through them. And with this, because he knows of Mordekin, you lot are being put just outside his camp of 1,000,000 devils. A force more than capable of taking a citadel in short order that is needed. And with that, sitting over top his entire army, you see what appears to be a man, slightly elvish in features of nose and eyes, gets a bit more human by the ears, but anything further from the face becomes fiendish. He has a dense, greasy mat of hair that just slicks up his neck to the back of his neck, where it meets a long, dark ponytail in the back. There are horns that cusp from the brow of his face, from his eyebrow up, and they form this sheet of scales, large chunks of spikes that almost form this natural helmet that goes over the top of the head, forcing the hair back into that ponytail with the beard. He's wearing crimson red armor, not crimson, scarlet, dragon scale. As he is sitting at a table, bouncing one leg over the other, knowing his army is ready. He has felt the trembles of the multiverse. He is aware of the research that the Dominus Porta has done, and he is waiting to be asked to do something for a charge.
All right.
Oh, salute, help me. Let's walk up to him.
As you do so, he kind of smiles. You see that the teeth form small fangs, though mostly remain humanoid. Well, it has been a while since I've dealt with adventurers, and it went very well for me last time. Tell me, what do you need?
We need to get into that fortress over there.
Well, that is very difficult for you. I could help. But, my army's a bit big for the moment, and they're getting cramped here. They need some space to sprawl.
Well, I would have to say that's not our problem, but if you don't work with us, they're going to be cramped here for a lot longer. And, I would like to use my social level 5 ability to talk this guy into helping us.
Okay, social level 5. This is a social challenge, so it goes up to 10 points worth. And if you don't work with me, you won't get what you want. And you will quickly become cramped as more forces take over your areas. What little bit can you give me? I will let you know that 10 points is enough to complete this challenge. He still wants some level of negotiation. What are you willing to give up on? And I'm not going to argue with you about it. You have blown by what you needed for this challenge, but he still needs something to agree to.
So, just to Mordekin is a infernal lord who attacked the material. Is that correct?
In the past, yes.
Or
yep.
Yeah.
And this is what he was referencing to with the adventurer comment earlier, correct?
Yes, that is exactly. Adventurers tried to stop him, and he got quite a bit more leeway than they should have given him.
And that's he only wants to attack the material.
Sounds like
As far as we
Hiskalon,
know.
right?
Well, Hiskalon was the last endeavor. Are you willing to make acquiescences anyplace else? I'm open for retail. Name a place.
Can we get a list of like the places? I don't remember. I don't really want to give them those, but it'd be good to know them.
So, you could acquiesce any plane that you want, of saying you will have ability to move into any other plane. You can dictate, continents of Malpos, Hiskalon, Sagma, the Stormbroken Lands, Jelvajo. I don't think the Dominus Porta would be very happy with you going, oh yeah, no, you can just have the place that we're trying to save. But
perhaps the Far Realm would be a worthy challenge of your greatly cramped army.
While they're distracted, that seems like a lovely idea. Ordinarily, he would not have agreed to that, but you just threw 10 points into this, so he'll take that challenge.
I think that's a good plane.
So,
Or not plane, rather. It's like our enemy's plane as well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, wonderful.
Sounds
much
like the level of dupe on this is blowing my mind.
So the level of dupe on this is very kind of like, throughout the diplomacy 10, there's going to be a lot more than just one sentence on it. There will be more iterations and, working with, what you're doing with all the other planes and kind of dealing with that, but then allowing for that area to be separate from all of this. And so gets him away from all of the gods, gets him away from all the people that would oppose him within this reality. And who knows, we may have just spawned a real big bad in like 2 or 3 ages.
Nice. I dig it.
So,
oh my god. Big, heavy, wrong moves.
cue across the bottom of the screen, Mordekin will return. But he uses
Mordekin will remember this.
his army of 1,000,000 devils to assault this cubic citadel, breaking through the forces, breaking through the walls, getting you guys to the center of this cube, wherein there is this spike of metal that serves as the trellis of Acheron. And you guys can activate the cubic gate, and you guys did what the Dominus Porta told you to do very well. Very well.
Alright. As long as Mr. Porta's not disappointed in us, Celeste can live with that.
No, that was you did the challenge, and then when I gave the twist of I still need something to roleplay about, that was the perfect, that's not, we rolled a 20 on a die, the game master has to say we did the thing. That is you going, hey, here's an exact answer to the thing you asked for. So that is fantastic. And with that, Acheron is done. We have Gehenna, Carcerai, and Bitopia left before the Outlands.
I say Gehenna to get the evil out the way, then Bitopia to get it right, then Carcerai, of course. Or we can do Bitopia, Gehenna, then Carcerai.
You sure know which of these planes are dangerous and are not?
It's a lot of reading. Also out of character, Buck. It was posted the shape of the outer planes and whether they're more lawful.
Oh yeah,
or good.
of course. I was just
sorry.
in character, telling
I
you
just-
that. Yeah.
I just really want this to go well. Mr. Porta, if it doesn't go well, obviously it's the destruction of everything we know and love. So
Looking
I
for
think it
that
pays.
promotion.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
which one are we going to?
$50-50 vote. My vote's towards Gehenna.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier, Gehenna, and then Vitopia, and then Carcerai, probably a good
Yeah, that sounds
arrangement.
Okay. With that, he, once again giving a little bit of information on your task, he dictates out what you said earlier about possibly Gehenna being a more nefarious version of what Arcadia was like is not a joke. The terrain of Gehenna is as potent as a foe, and you will not want to spend long there, but you will at least have a few moments to find it. Gehenna is made up of 4 mountains. Not exactly mountains, but gravity is at a 45-degree angle from the ground, so every surface seems to be a mountain. There's molten rock and toxic snow, to say the least. There are more deadly dangers beyond. The river Styx is a waterfall that flows from it. Find your way through, find the trellis, and do not be there long. Your weary states will rot away through the toxins, through the heat and the decay. With that, he sends you to Gehenna, and you guys have now an exploration challenge to find the trellis amid what is not a walk in a park, but walk 45-degree angle, mountain, acid, snow, lava. But still, just go find it.
That's truly wonderful.
I hear this is going to be a deception quest, but exploration's fine. How are we doing on skills, everybody?
I have an attack skill and a defense plus skill.
I have all but my level 4 skills still. We haven't fought since the beginning.
Yeah, this is not well mixed.
I have a 5 and a 2.
I have a 1, 3, and 4. Movement, defense, reactive.
I have a level 3 defense ally and a level 5 defense plug.
Let's just get this. I'm gonna use my power 3, just full strength. Exploration. I will open up my bag and a handful of spirits will pour out and start floating off into the distance looking for our goal.
Okay, so that's 6 points towards the problem.
Yeah.
I will.
That is gonna solve it. So as you just open your bag, spirits pouring out. They just go like, okay, not this mountain, not this mountain, not this mountain. You guys get yourself to the proper mountain, delving through the caves, avoiding the areas that are just toxic pits of gas. Move your way through the volcanic compounds until eventually you find another stone obelisk once again that as you get close kind of just turns spectral. You can put the cubic gate there and bada bing, bada boom.
Perfect.
That's how this game works.
Thank goodness.
Gehenna is done, and you guys have Vitopia and Carcerai.
Mytopia, let's
On to
go.
Mytopia.
Okay. With that, hopefully you complete this just as fast as you completed Gehenna. It should be no more difficult. Once more, find the trellis. Mytopia itself is known as the Twin Paradises. That is because it is twin paradises. There is a single plane on one end that is pure wilderness, untouched, unspoiled. Opposite it, over it, is that of civilization. Villages, farms, communities. Nothing great and sprawling of nations, but simply the splendor of a simple life of an afterlife. If you get halfway between them, gravity will shift. It is my belief that the trellis resides halfway between them, halfway through your power, halfway between many things. Split Bitopia, find the spectral, ethereal trellis that serves as that pivot point between the low and the high and the low, the left and the right and the left, and get back to me. So, exploration challenge.
Let's go. Still don't have one of those. I think Blessed would cast.
I have
narrative ability.
I still have an exploration level 2. I can throw that at this one, but it will give us 4 points, and I'm gonna do it. So,
Wonderful.
or does anyone else have still any exploration?
No, I don't.
All right. So in this case, if everyone's out of options, this time Buck will do the thing. He will close his eyes and start talking to himself. Northam, we are in... Guys, what's this place called?
Bitopia.
Bitopia? Oh yeah, but Bitopia. Do you... we're looking for... What's the thing called?
The trellis.
The trellis. Do you know anything about this? Yeah, I'm gonna ask Northam.
Okay, so that's just gonna be 4 points towards it, correct? With that,
Exactly.
he kind of gives this response of like, kind of like fluttering in this amp. Like, okay, you see that village over there? That kind of serves as a fulcrum for the rest of this half of the plane. You're gonna want to go halfway up, get roughly up there, find it. It's invisible. Just, I can't get you all up there. It's over there. I have little wings. I can't get all of you up. Just get up there and we're done. And he'll pop away. That is most of the challenge of him going like, it's in that general region, like, you know, the size of a parlor, of a living room. It's right up there. Just someone get up there and do it.
It was nice seeing you too, and I'm throwing a hand kiss just into empty air because he's gone already.
Do you know how many problems you're causing me? As
Counting on you.
you guys are just wrecking through the lower planes.
You're the big guy. This direction. Let's go, everyone.
Right, so
Please go ahead.
I have this might help somebody that's good at spotting things. If you'd like to try my eyepiece, now that we know the general area, perhaps we could find it, and I'll offer up my Rod of Distance, which is a spyglass for anybody who has an actual narrative ability to finish this off.
Oh, let me see that. And he said it was invisible, Northam. Celeste will cast a narrative, see invisibility on herself.
And with that, you
The
can
Rod of Distance will double your distance.
you just gotta like look through the spyglass that Norin gave you, and like you can just see like this like star-like design of like there's multiple different orientations for the trellis due to Bitopia's situation, but like you can just see it up there, and then send a familiar up to take the cubic gate up there, and that narrative ability will pop us from 4 to 5 and finish off the challenge.
Oh, wonderful.
Great job.
With that, you guys.
Did you hear that, Northam? He praised you. He loves me.
That brings you guys back to Nilbora and the Dominus Porta, and you guys have one plane left before the Outlands, Carcerai. And with this, because there's no decision making, he simply informs you, well, you dealt with Acheron well, and I need you to deal with Carcerai at least as well, probably better. Carcerai is a prison. You have spoken about this already. And it is a prison to something that knows about the trellises. From what research I've done, this being is partially responsible for the falling of an angel, is responsible for an upturning of the different courts of the Fae, and is the reason that the gods made the trellises in the first place. And it has taken the Tartarian trellis in Carcerai and used it as a throne room, waiting through the ages to be able to use it to escape its prison.
Is it a Titan?
It might as well be. The entity's name is kali-musa. Technically, at one point it was a fiend. I do not know what it is now, but it hails from a time when fiends were singular. There were not Baelor, there was a Baelor. There were not pit fiends, there was a pit fiend. Kali-musa is as ancient as the old gods. I told you not to give in to any demands of Mordekin. That is not the case here. Kali-musa has the trellis. You must deal with him, though I do not suggest combat. Best of luck. And if you do not succeed, I understand. As he forcibly just teleports you there immediately.
Oh my god. Nice. Oh, nice encouragement.
With that, as you go dumping through this portal of planes, you break through shells and shells and shells of planets. Carcerai, the prisons of Tartarus, there are 6 layers to the plane, but they are not stacked independently. But each layer is a string of planets. The second layer is a string of internal shells to those planets, in a 4th dimensional sense. It does take the ability to find the weave passages up through the layers, or plane shifting yourself to get from one level of a Tartarian planet to another. But somehow you can also go from the 5th layer of one planet to the 5th layer of another through those mystical passages. And you are slammed through to what is impossibly the last planet in the chain of the Tartarian planets. An infinite string, and you have been sent to the bottom layer of the final one, dividing by 0. To the trellis of Carceris, to a chamber of frost and flame mixed into congealed black smoke. And you see what is supposed to be the trellis, having over time been carved into a throne. Sitting upon it is something that seems to have the arched horns of a Baelor, but the bull-like face becomes more feral and draconic. Gorilla-like arms overhang the sides of the trellis throne to razor-sharp hooked claws that just have carved little ruts into the ground next to it. It sits on its own legs, kind of hunched into this squatting position in the chair. And as you appear, kali-musa, having waited through eternities for someone to come for the trellis, simply gives this deep, throaty grumble, not even addressing you by speech, but acknowledging your final existence within its prison.
Oh, this is Agathis. Well, it's to be expected.
So,
What was that, Celeste?
The layer of Agathis.
Okay.
I think Celeste will, because we're really low on abilities, right?
This is a social challenge, if I did not say that.
Yes, I think Celeste using an expert ability to comprehend languages, just in case that this ancient being as a language that we don't know.
It's a narrative ability, not a special one.
Yes, a
Guys,
narrative.
I fear, like, does anyone have any abilities left to help with this? Because we might be in a bad spot.
You're probably in a bad spot.
You can still dump regular abilities at base point value.
I'd rather fail this challenge than waste my Ebnon.
Does anyone have any social abilities left? We're all tapped
No,
out.
I think we're all tapped out on those.
Okay, I have a level 3 group movement and level 4 plot defense I could burn.
I still have a level 5 ability. But it's also a solo attack, so in case we fight at some point.
Ooh, I would save that. You think?
Yeah.
Alright.
I already spent expert no cost on this as well. But I do have my one, which would be useless in this situation, and my defense plot.
I still have a level 3 also. Yeah, I have a level 3, a level 1 and a level 5. The level 3 might be useful, but it's also a healing ability, another one.
Again, I would rather hold on to that healing and that powerful strike. I got a feeling we're gonna need it.
Alright.
Yeah, I can use, because I give us a movement bonus with this level 3. That's not, I don't think it'll be a make or break, so I could throw 3 points into this with the expert ability.
A thing.
I mean, that's a start.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably have to
We're gonna
put
have
some
to-
more stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Lord kali-musa.
Do we know anything about this this being, or is it like completely outside of the realm of knowledge, aside from Atragor knowing about it?
This is extremely deep lore. There are those of you who have interacted with other beings that have referenced kali-musa, but if that's not something you can put together right now in your head, that's something that you'll possibly see in the world anvil later. But some of you have interacted with beings that have interacted with kali-musa in the past. He is from those deeper ages. For those of you who have interacted with Phenibus, and you wonder how Phenibus became fallen, kali-musa is integral to that.
I recognize the name, but it was not in our stuff explicitly, so I don't know it. And now I'm like going, oh, that Nightwalker. Did he say something about this? No, he didn't. It was something else. Oh, okay. You said we're just like a group of players just sitting here stumped.
True.
I think.
I mean, what you're using your ability, your level 3 ability. What does it do? What is happening?
I don't know. I was just gonna dump points into it and try to talk the thing.
I mean, if you want to just dump points and then describe what you say, feel free.
I don't have anything yet. I was gonna wait till it spoke to us.
Yeah, that's why I said the Lord Kali-musa. We've come to bargain.
We've come to bargain. It just kind of gives this deep, kind of huffing chuff. I want out.
Mr. Porta said that. This is not out loud, but Mr. Porta said that that we just give it what it wants, correct?
He said we can bargain with it.
You can.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
we should bargain with it.
You can bargain
but, like,
with it.
it's
You can
not-
give it what it wants. I'll let you know, if you are not trying to divert anything about what this entity does, you guys can just say yes. Based off how the cubic gates work, you walk up, you activate it. The reason why the combat challenge is you guys have to take care of all the enemies is they'll all get sucked with you. If you don't want to spend any points on this, you can just go and you will have your complete freedom. Walk up cubic gates and just permanently release him. If you're not going to try and wheel and deal, if you're not going to try to say, you cannot come to this plane, you can't do that. Like, if there's no wheeling and dealing, if you're just fully letting him out, you guys can just fully let him out.
Oh, I think we should try at least, guys.
Do you want to send him to the far plane as well and just put a huge mess out there for the ones to deal with?
Lord Kali-musa, if we were to release you, there would be stipulations on this. Certain planes you wouldn't be able to visit, such as the material, and no limits, no entry for the Lord such as yourself.
And with what divine right do you make this claim? And that is me asking for points to be put in, even if it's just a narrative ability.
I'll step in and I'm gonna go big with this one. I believe you've already seen this in a dream you've had recently, because I cast Dream on him the night before.
Okay, we are bending reality with this dream. And typically, like, you have to know people exist to dream, but we are working against elder evils. And you yourself have made contact with one of the elder evils that all of these plans are against. And with that, you're spending your level 5 ability on this?
Yep, it's defense plot, but yeah, I used Dream and used my connection through gresn'ilknus to let him realize that now that we're here, fulfilling something he's seen vision in his sleep.
Okay. With that, there is a tinge of gresn'ilknus to this warping of reality. And with that, that is significant. You guys are about halfway done with this, a little over. And with that, he kind of gives this, "It may be so, but I do not care for gresn'ilknus. It is not its reason for me to be here. There are others that deserve my ire."
So we spent 5 points formally?
You guys are 5 points in, correct?
How many did you spend, Darth? Did you spend 5?
Yeah.
I thought Celeste spent 1 at the beginning.
I spent 1
You add-
and then someone spent 3. I think it was Smelly. Or Sterling. I don't know.
None of the others had been confirmed as we are doing this. So we can do just the I say hello for 1, if we want that. So do we want that 1 being counted in for Celeste?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It was just a narrative ability, and you used your group movement ability, right? Or at least you thought about using it.
Yes, I thought about using it.
Yeah, a lot of things were talked about, but nothing was confirmed.
Alright.
Okay, so with those 2 abilities currently in, the initial approach, the conversation, and then our dream, our warping of reality, he has given out this decree of, I do not care for any of gresn'ilknus, that is not my concern. His eyes then look over to Jorg. But you know the one that imprisoned me here, the one that led to this. I should feast on your soul for that. And this has a length of 2 for the challenge, and this is going to be a level 5 plot damage as
Defense plot. 5.
5,
As
okay.
I send my tier X spell to just kind of like of my smartly dressed elementals to surround Lord Kali-musa and get Jorg out of immediate danger and such.
Okay, so you pull him back out of immediate danger. You have these elementals that kind of surround, mixing in with the gresn'ilknus, elemental profane chaos kind of vibe that we have going. As kali-musa then gives this kind of, you have seen that which desires, and I desire it.
Oh, I know exactly who you speak of. If you like, we can send you to his realm, and you can have him to your heart's content. You want Marnouche, don't you?
A trellis for a trellis. I do need more points being spent, but if you have the points to spend...
I'll spend my 3 to con him into going to the far plane and just go out there and cause havoc and look for Marnouche.
That takes us up to 9, which is the challenge, the danger level of this. So with that, he agrees. Once again, you guys are sending 2 very significant fiends in the multiverse. Whether this becomes Spelljammer, whether this becomes whatever ending for this age, I think I already know where the next age is gonna start coming from.
They're either gonna fight for forever or they're gonna team up against us guys. Oh god.
But with that, he agrees. And as you bring the cubic gate forward to culminate this agreement, releasing him to go off to the far realm, to deal with his own personal beef with that which desires and Marnouche, that is going to bring us to the end of the bulk of this adventure. So as you guys all come back temporarily to Nelbora, locking in, confirming with the Dominus Porta that your final cubic gates have been placed at the trellises, he gives us, good, we must act fast then. We're now heading to the Outlands. While I am trying to save as much of our reality as possible, the Outlands does not have a space in the New World. It acts as the confluence of all the other planes within the cosmos. There is no room for us. We will have to take it. We will be going to the Outlands. I will immediately find myself within the central spire. For those of you who have not been there, there is a mountain that sits at the center that is the pinnacle of neutrality. Magic does not work. I will begin to set up the ritual with all of the artifacts, bringing together all the cubic gates. While I am preparing the materials, you all must head to the top of the mountain. There floats a city of Sigil, the city of doors. It is the one place that not even I and my magic can puncture. Therein, there resides an individual that you will not speak of. The ruler is the Lady of Pain, and she is omnipotent within Sigil, and omnipotent at the center of the universe, where even magic does not reside. She has within her purview a capability of demi-space, the ability to produce mazes of torture and deceit. However, what I need you to do is to go to the top of the mountain, speak with those that speak for her, convince her to help. She seeks nothing but her own, to have her space unmolested by gods. She is the ultimate authority. What I have not mentioned to you up until this point is that there are those working against us. While you have been going for the outer planes, I know they have been seeking to destroy the trellises of the inner. My plan was to keep those trellises as foundations for as long as possible. They are destroying them for us now, seeking to throw the prime material out and away. Barter that. Use that. The Lady of Pain wants nothing but to have her power and be isolated. Have her take Sigil in our stead, to be cast out from this new universe that we're creating. And the payment for that is to produce a demi-space, to take all of her mazes, sending them down, coring through the mountain to create an area where we might be able to use magic outside of the neutrality of the concordance. And then we can break the center, we can scatter the outworlds, and with that, complete our goal. Does that make sense? As far as that plan can make sense.
Not a damn bit.
So, we go to Sigil, we convince the Lady of Pain to burrow a huge maze through the mountain so we can get out of the magic field?
More or less, yes. You will not be speaking with her directly, but those that speak for her. You must convince her that this is a means of getting herself isolated and giving her complete control without interference ever again. We are sacrificing the inhabitants of the city of Sigil forever to her control, to also forever no longer leave her for it to be the cage that it is. They will be the sacrifice along with the Outlands to allow for us to complete our goal. The Dabu you speak with, convince it to tell her to create the demi-space through the mountain for us, so we might shatter the Outlands.
I feel like we're gonna have to word it differently.
If the people who oppose us succeed, how is that going to interfere with her wishes?
If they succeed, and we do not make this deal, we ourselves will be gone, cast out, and we will have wrecked the multiverse surrounding this concordant opposition, and the City of Doors will be doors no more.
So either way, the City of Doors is so if we fail, the City of Doors is destroyed. If we succeed, the City of Doors is forevermore the City of No Doors, but also extant forevermore.
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy. This is going exactly how I thought it would.
Once you convince the Dabu of that, meet me inside the space. We will finish the ritual, and hopefully that will be the end of it. With that, the Dominus Porta is going to for the moment, cast his last conjuration spell to send him to the center of the concordant opposition, and you all to the top of the pillar. So, let's go ahead and drop you guys.
Did I get this correctly? This dude who is an incredible mage goes to a place where magic doesn't work.
That is how this plan has to operate. That is the gamble.
Okay. Let's see how this goes, guys.
He mentioned it earlier. When you're talking to people, do not mention the Lady of Pain. In any way, shape, or form.
Understood. I'm just not gonna talk to people.
Probably a good idea. With that, you guys are going to be dumped on top of a giant spike of a mountain, around which a mechanical donut spirals at the top. The city of Doors, Sigil, resides within that donut, the inside of the Taurus. And as you find yourself at this peak of peaks, floating down from the city to see who is here, is a Dabu. Humanoid, no nose, gray skin, flat face. If you've seen the Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Dabus look a lot like Maw, the wizard telekinetic person that comes to speak for Thanos. Looks a lot like that. And as it drifts down, for those of you who know Dabus do not speak, but images form above their head to imply what they mean to say. And as it floats down to you, you see a dolphin appear over top its head, as if to ask you, what is your porpoise?
Oh, no.
That is the only one. Everything else will just be talked through.
Does anybody have like minor illusion? You can throw some things up above your head.
You guys can speak.
Just talk to them.
Yeah, you guys can speak. They are incapable of speaking, but you guys can speak to them. And officially, this is a social challenge.
We're currently airborne, or are we on the spire?
You are currently on the spire.
Oh boy. I am... Nope, we just established that we can talk. I'm not gonna do earth molding magic to make a picture.
Smart.
So we can't talk about, and we're trying to. Okay. Make a deal. How do we make a deal without talking about someone?
Refer to them as the management, maybe?
This is like Fight Club.
We can sit or talking to them, no?
They are awaiting to find out your purpose of being here.
We'll begin just explaining the framework of our idea without getting into like the nitty-gritty, and we'll just start it off with a narrative point 1.
Okay.
Say in a praiseful way, because I'm not familiar with the Dabu and how they operate socially. So kind of starting off on that gentle foot and describing that we come with honest intentions and we will need great favor.
Okay. As you speak about that, time draws onward. Every moment you spend on this challenge is a moment that the Dominus Porta is waiting for you. This is a length 1 challenge. You guys will be taking 1 plot point of damage for every action it takes to complete this.
Well, I don't have any points to give. Other than that.
Well, in that case, I think. Oh God! But we're gonna die. I will use a level 3. Oh, go ahead. What you want to do?
I think I've got more resources available. If you want me to spend mine.
Sure, go ahead.
I will just use 5 points, helping Buck do what they were gonna do.
Oh, I don't think you want Buck to do what he wanted to do. I would have went up to him, took him by the collar and told him, "We have no time. We're gonna shift this plane somewhere else or whatever the old man wants to do. I don't care, and you're not gonna stop us." That's what I would have done.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Are we currently in a non-magic area?
You guys are relatively in a non-magic area, but because you are so close to Sigil, there is some of that magic leaking out, so you can do some stuff.
Okay, I will go back to my very first idea and start playing pictograph or Pictionary with the stone beneath my feet, and just drawing it up and making slowly building this very elaborate diorama of what we need, and I'll dump 5 points into that.
Okay, so we have the initial 1 and then another 5. As you are describing all this stuff, you guys are about halfway done.
Oh, we're so...
Fuck!
You guys are trying to convince the management of Sigil, a place that wants to be left the crap alone, to get involved in greater cosmology. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. I will say we are now up to 2 plot points. Any plot defense that is used on this is cumulative, so if you guys get up to 4 or 5 and then have a big plot defense you want to spend, that can happen.
Okay.
But we are currently 6 points in to convincing the City of Doors to care about things outside of its realm.
I'll definitely make sure to include in that diorama the option where City of Doors goes bye-bye.
Okay.
I think I'll have to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to him. I'm gonna use a level 3. It's a quick attack, and I'm just gonna put it into the situation as... Listen here, I know you don't want to get involved in this stuff, but if you get involved this once, after this is done, you're gonna be left alone basically forever. So, trust me, it's worth it.
Okay. As you are convincing the Dabu, who then just kind of as you're getting really up close, raises a hand up to the City of Doors, and giant metal prongs kind of break off, and they reach down this giant octopus monster, grab you, and push you away. As within the construct of the City of Doors, the Dabu have almost infinite transmutation capability as he kind of pushes you away. But that is currently 9 points into this challenge, 3 damage incoming, as you're not yet quite done, but he's almost convinced. There's 1 or 2 points left to go.
Why did he push me away? Can you explain to me?
So I was taking the initial narrative of you rushing up, grabbing him by the collar, just kind of that okay, keep space.
Okay, sure.
Could I use my reactive command ability? And more or less just say the cards are on the table. it's time to make a decision. And the quicker you are, the quicker, the better it is for us.
Oh, that is
To my
fantastic.
friends.
That is fantastic. So as you okay, you have all the information. We have spoken with you. We've done the diagrams. We're making it known that this is you do this and we're done. You're now putting it on the table. Make the decision. And that brings us from 9 up to 11. 11 was the challenge, putting it just outside of a level 5 social automatically doing it. Just outside of that. It took you guys 4 actions, so that's going to be 4 plot points, 4 plot damage, if someone does have a plot defense that they want to do to nullify those 4 points.
I have a 4-point defense plot ability.
Amazing!
Perfect.
So let's use that.
Okay, and what is that?
Shield. I guess whatever portal behind us is getting weaker, and George is gonna put his hands out and just use his power to kind of boost it a little bit and keep it going while they're talking this out.
So despite the time it takes to talk it out, taking up all the time to get back down, you are magically holding the 2 portals open as they're beginning to crumble away for you guys. The moment you're done, you pop through your initial portal, pop back through the portal that the Dominus Porta went through to get down there, and you're instantly down in the basin. As you get there, there's this column of kind of labyrinthine gears and maze that kind of course right through this mountain, as we're going to move on to the exploration challenge for our 3-part finale. And this is going to be down with the Dominus Porta. He has already done a ton of work. You guys have done a ton of work trying to finish this, but as he is now operating with this ring of 16 grounding point spikes for those cubic gates to form these channels to rip the concordant plane of the Outlands apart, he needs a little bit of extra oomph to finish it along. This will be our final exploration challenge, and I will let you know that this challenge is just as difficult as the most difficult exploration you've had up to this point. So it is a significant challenge to end. It is not another Beastlands, but he needs more oomph to help tear the world apart.
Wait, but is this the final Hauk? Or what is happening?
We have one more after this.
Okay, oh god, I don't want to spend my solo attack in case it's...
I spent my solo attack.
Yeah.
I've got a group attack and a very
How
very
about
minor
we-
heal.
It looks like we all have attacks. I have an attack as well. How about we save those? Because we're taking something. Let's let it be now, rather than later, maybe.
Yeah.
Alright.
Taking plot damage versus dying.
So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use my level 1 reactive initiative. I can use this as a just putting this 1 point towards this exploration challenge. No, it's not is it exploration?
Yes,
What is
yes,
happening
it is.
right
Yep,
now?
it is exploration. So yeah, you can just put that one ability into it.
Sorry, can you remind me, what are we exploring? What are we trying to achieve currently?
You are trying to help the ritual to tear the Outlands apart from the inside the mountain. Exploration is the term for anything that is not social or combat, and everything else just falls under exploration.
Alright. So, what Buck will do is, you all will see as his left eye moves out of sync with the other one. It twitches left to right for a moment before it realigns, and it will glow blue, the iris. And he's now able to see magic, and I think if this is at all applicable, he will just basically see the weave in front of him, and whatever everyone else will do, he will help to find the specific weak spots where we can most effectively use our abilities to bring this down. This is my 1 point I can contribute.
That's great. That's fantastic. So as you like, okay, you go over here, you do this. Like these are the areas that we need the extra strength. That way, the entire Outlands fractures as opposed to just half of it. Okay. With that, you guys have, a couple of the cubic gates that are a bit stronger, a couple that are a bit weaker. Who has extra power that they want to put into this ritual to break the plane?
I only have one more level 1 ability left. Do I get any bonuses to that since I'm an expert?
No. So in this case, do not use your level 1 ability on this. Just use your expert.
Burn it. Okay, well, I'll have to do that unless anyone else has something.
Same boat as you.
Who's all... So this is kind of getting away from the crossover Codex mechanics, but as casters, who's all proficient with conjuration? Obviously, we have a conjuration specialist. We have Atrigor. Doran, you had mentioned things about passing through, etc. How much do you have to spare? Because if we can just funnel enough conjuration magic as a group to help help the Dominus Porta, I think a group effort might be worth it.
Well, if we funnel it enough through one person, I can help protect them, defend them. Power level 3. That's all I've got left.
How are things looking around us?
With the power level 3 or before that?
Just in general. Scene setting.
Scene setting, you guys are in a cavern in the bottom of a mountain. You've got these giant spikes in the ground with the matching symbols. You have the giant magic symbol on the ground that the Atrigor is trying to use to just bring everything colliding and then use the pressure to crack the plane.
Question comes down to how many single points are we going to spend on this before we spend another ability after things get bad?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for abilities to be spent before I spend.
Yeah, I only have my level 5, and we still have something after that. So
I don't want to spend it. I can just pour, as I literally learned my magic from the Dominus Porta. I could just assist him in whatever ways I know how he works.
Yeah.
As an expert ability.
Celeste could just expert her way through this, and you guys will probably hit the length, but at that point, you guys just accepting a bad thing now to be able to do things later, that's what that would be, is just let Celeste focus on this, and then you guys deal with the ramifications and deal with what comes next.
We might have to go that route. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Alright. Celeste, you gonna go help? I will funnel... I'll join in and I'll funnel my disintegration magic into the outer seams of their magic to help just get through. So I'll spend a point.
Okay. So 1 point from Millie. So we are up to 5. 5 has not yet done it. And then Celeste, are you going to finish it out however long it takes?
If no one else fits abilities, yeah.
Okay. With that, we are going to go to 2 more uses of your innates. And with that, as you guys are just pouring magic, into the situation, you watch even the mountain around you begin to crack and fracture, and it's not like crumbling away, but the cracks throughout the rest of this plane are very much falling and boiling and twisting as we are going to hit the length of this challenge. And with that, the challenge stops for a moment. You guys get so close to finishing, so close to the end, and then reality stops breaking apart as there's a great primordial essence that has taken the plane, and its very form is preventing you guys from continuing on with this collapse. We're going to go to our final challenge. Our final challenge is going to be a combat. Now, this is going to change immediately because we hit the length. We will not have the army of Modrons coming against you. We will not have the champion Pit Fiend coming against you, improved from the previous failure in the Beastlands, nor the Salad Lord, nor the Archangel. They are all going to be replaced by a great swirling chaos of fire and frost and wind and earth and smoke and ash and soot and grime and ooze. They are going to be replaced by taking the opportunity of the fracturing of the planes, crawling up from the elemental chaos, gresn'ilknus. He is going to receive a danger level equivalent to all of the danger levels not yet dealt with. So that is going to be that. I have to do math where you guys can't hear me. There we go.
Those of you keeping score, that's my patron.
Oh, so is wait.
There's that.
He has a danger level equal to all the danger levels not yet dealt with.
Yes, all of the enemies that would have been like the Pit Fiend, the Modron army, the Archangel, the Slot Lord are representatives from all of the planes that were going to come to try to stop you from destroying this place, because there are people that are opposing, even good individuals. Mechanus was totally going to be a battle of like, you guys are trying to break something, we don't break things. Elysium was going to be a battle, like the forces of good do not permit doing awful things to win. But instead of having all of them, as you guys are slowly breaking the reality around you, crawling from the elemental chaos, having previously not managed to get into the prime material, now getting in through this area, which is seeded to be where the prime material will be, is the great profaned elemental chaos. And with that, we are going to be entering in to a combat challenge to finish us off. You guys have to defeat gresn'ilknus, driving him away before he can overtake the ritual and be the center of all things.
This just went from we might go away or we might all become one, and rapidly move to we might just destroy all of it.
I have to be honest. I don't really understand what just happened, because there are challenges we haven't dealt with.
So they're within my budget of points. The final combat was built out of that budget of points of what was still yet to be remaining. And so that has altered from a bunch of smaller enemies to a really big one.
I see.
Okay.
So, you guys are down in the mountain pit. The only way to get out of the mountain pit with the ritual is to go up to the mountain region. From there, any connecting region is a connecting region. The lava is where land is breaking apart and boiling. We have a volcano from the primal chaos. We have a whirlpool of a lake that is siphoning away as the world breaks. We have the ocean underneath, and then we have these other areas of elemental air, elemental earth, pure chaos, pure fiendish hell, as the concordant outlands are being broken apart, and they're being temporarily held together by the presence of gresn'ilknus. So, as we enter this combat, he does have multiple initiatives in the deck. For every person that was removed, he has their initiative. We'll be starting with Millie. Millie, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna do the thing I did last time and just take the first move into a space, but this time it's gonna be into a space we all have to go to, so it should be safer. So there's that. And the 4 spaces around me, the 2 on the right, is one of those representative slightly more air? Or no?
The one to the top breaks apart into just a bunch of different floating islands. That is a crevice.
And that is just barrens?
That is barrens. That is where there were mountains, and the elemental forces of air have begun to blow straight through them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move. Just use my action to move. Well, actually, can I take that back?
Go ahead.
Nope, never mind. We'll just keep going. Right there. I will use my action to do a move there.
Okay, a double move.
And that'll be it.
With that, we go on to gresn'ilknus, who is going to use its action to move and claim more territory. So, the spaces that have no health bar are also gresn'ilknus, as he is claiming zones of the world, moving to claim as much as he can before he's destroyed. We go on to Norin.
I will move to the spire, and I'll encourage everyone, come with me. It's safer if we stay together. At least that's what I think.
Okay.
And I will... Can I hold my defensive ability?
So defensive
When
abilities
someone gets
are
hurt.
reactions. So yeah, as long as
Okay,
someone
cool.
is in your region, you can totally defend them when
Cool.
appropriate.
And I will defend them when the time comes that we need defending, yeah.
Okay. With that,
Cool.
we pull another gresn'ilknus, and he is going to continue to claim territory. As he is just roiling across the land. That was the wrong one. Roiling across the land, boiling through the gears of the plains of law, moving on to gathering up the sea waters and kind of taking that in to continue his tirade. With that, we continue on to Buck.
Well... Oh, wait, there's a minion method horde?
Oop, sorry, that's not supposed to be there. Sorry about that.
Okay. Which one of these guys is the real one? It's all of them, right?
All of them, yeah. There's just a single health bar, so I don't have to hit all of them, but any square he's in, you can target.
Well, in that case, wait, where can I go from where I am? Can I reach him?
Your first movement has to go up into the spire, and from there you can go any place else. So, from the ritual chamber to the mountain, and then spreading out from there.
Well, then I'll go up there, because I can't do anything else.
Okay. Would you like to move another region?
I mean, I would, but then I would immediately get attacked, right?
Possibly. Or if you move
And
further away.
But if we are in a certain region and this guy comes along, it's still lost. It's not that we can, by being there beforehand, would be able to stop it somehow. No,
You can
right?
try and stop him. You can totally go someplace and try and prevent him from moving forward. That is something you can do.
I mean, but I would use an ability to do so, right?
So you can trade your action on your turn for a second move. That's what Millie did. So at this point, it would just be moving twice.
preventing him from going somewhere would use an ability, right?
No, it's you being there, and he has to deal with you before he can spread further.
Well, all right, then I guess. No, I can't. I'm gonna die immediately. I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
Next person.
That is another gresn'ilknus pull. So he will continue on and continue to spread.
Definitely lost.
With that, we go on to Celeste.
Over.
I will move and I will go to him.
Okay, so that is going to be 3 regions.
Oh, I thought you said it was all connected.
So
In that case, I'll go
any
here,
facing
then.
regions are connected. Okay.
I misunderstood as well because you said you first have to go to the spire and then you can go to anywhere else. That's why I thought, okay, we can go anywhere.
My
That's what I thought.
apologies. Yeah, spire, and then everything else connects to the spire, but you have to get out of the dungeon as opposed to, yeah.
Okay,
I
well
phrased
in
it
that
bad.
case, if you will still allow me, I would also have moved
Okay.
to here. Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I was under the assumption that I could, if I wanted to move, go anywhere.
Gotcha.
But now it's important to make ground.
Now it is important to make ground, yes. Okay. So Celeste, you have moved twice, and then we move on to, once again, a gresn'ilknus pull, and he will continue on spiraling through. And we finally get to Jorg.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm going to take a step out here, and then I'm gonna try to cut this guy off or face him. This can't be allowed to go on any further. So I'm gonna go over here. He should have to move into this eastern zone to get around, I'm sure, or
Okay.
to the north. Yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, with that we go on to Sigismund.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Up into here and then down into here.
Okay. And with that, we are reshuffling, and 1 gresn'ilknus tile is removed. So, next round he will have 1 less action as he has continued to spread. With that, let's go ahead and finish up our shuffle. And let's go on to Norin.
Okay. I will move out to here. And then I will stand right here. And I'll stand right up on the front edge. Because when Norin was in his heyday, he stood up front wearing his mithril shirt with pride. Standing on the front line, taking damage. Pretending to take damage. And that is his double move that will bring him to that point.
Okay. Celeste.
I will be a body shield.
Okay. You move in and what?
I will use my last ability to just do 1 damage of elementals.
Okay. And the elementals do very little as you summon in this conjuring burst, almost unperceivable within him.
Yeah, that's basically I can do this combat. Just die.
Okay.
That'll be it.
With that, we're going to go to gresn'ilknus' turn. You are there opposing him, so he cannot continue. And he is going to attack you with a molten fist. This is going to be an attack for 3 damage.
Alright.
And
Do I need to be in the same region to use a defense for an ally?
Yes, you have to be in the same region.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. And from there, we go on to Millie.
All right. No hold action and no easy access to target. Going to move and move again, just to kind of front up the line with Celeste.
Okay, fantastic. From Millie, we're going to go to Buck.
Buck will now. I will use my last ability. I will move in with both of them here. And Buck will jump onto these aisles. You see him dashing, jumping, using everything in the environment to, in the end, sling on top of him. And as he's in the air above him, he takes his bow, he loads an arrow, he draws, and you all are blinded for a second as what are they called, Josh? The bolts?
The golem lug nuts.
The lug nuts. His bow has multiple lug nuts on them, and they all start connecting through little lightning arcs that connect the different lug nuts. As the lightning courses partly through Buck's body into the arrow, and he lets go a shot, and as it impacts him, compared to his body size, it's probably nothing, but it is a gigantic explosion of lightning that will do 10 damage to him.
Okay, that's a level 5 solo attack.
Yeah, exactly.
As that lightning courses through, you watch it course through the waterways and the salt minerals all the way around to the backside of this map, just looping through. That is a massive attack as you are throwing yourself fearlessly into this thing, getting the proper position and blasting with this special ability into him. Massive.
Heck yeah. How much HP does he have left? We don't know.
Ooh, sorry, you cannot see that. Now you can. He's bloodied.
Oh wow, let's go, guys.
Dude, good job.
Okay. Anything else, Buck?
No, that's all I can do.
Okay. Well, this is going to be really sad because as Norin, you're like just out of reach to protect your companions. This thing roils and twists and like forms this pocket, dropping Buck down near both Celeste and Millie before body slamming down like a tidal wave. Once again, I'm going to attack for 3 damage on all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I'm dead.
Buck getting crushed underneath.
I'm doing the shot, and then I already see like the land masses collapsing around me, and I'm looking to Celeste and Millie, and I'm just nodding to them because we're out of shouting range. See me just nodding to you, and everything collapses around me.
Okay. With that, you can still be saved, but you going down is devastating to the story. And with that, we do go to Jorg. Jorg, similar position to Millie, you guys pulled back, and all of a sudden, things are very far away as the progress has stopped.
Okay. I'm going to move in and try to fight this thing off. That's gonna be the end of my turn. That's 2 spaces.
Okay, rushing into to the chaos. Sigismund.
I'm just gonna move to there, just the 1 space.
Okay, playing the tactics of it. Fantastic. And it's very good as Jorg goes rushing in. He goes rushing into a swell in the water, a depression, as this thing continues to roil and turn. As we have our final draw of gresn'ilknus, he will be doing another 3 damage to everybody in that area.
Down.
Celeste goes down. With that, we get to the end of the initiative. One of gresn'ilknus's cards is removed, and then we reshuffle for the next round. Okay. With that, Millie, you're up.
I have 2 downed characters in my region.
Yes.
And I think I remember that... Oh, I don't remember who's got more on reserve. This is the first time we've encountered a down player in these games. I'm gonna have to go with Celeste. I think.
Please
I'm going
don't.
to reach over. Please don't.
Literally, there's nothing I can do in this combat anymore, except be like.
Me neither. But save her.
No, but you can still attack.
It's true.
Yeah, but
Literally, there's
you are a
nothing you
hero.
can do.
Yeah, damage.
Oh shit. As Buck's body, limp in form, kind of floats down. Well, he's crushed, so I'll float towards him. I will put my hand out and, using a profaned form of life transference, because I have no life, I will still give him health, and I will heal Buck for 2 hit points. Oh wow! 2 whole hit points. Get the fuck out of there. So I will use my power 1 heal solo on Buck, and then I'm going to move because I can't take another hit like that.
That is a very good option, yes. And choosing Buck was really good because Buck, you're next in the initiative, which means you get to go.
I will do a regular attack as I stand up. I will grab. Wait, who picked me up? Norin?
Millie.
No, Millie. Yeah, I'll grab Millie's arm. Get pulled up.
Millie was just sending you undeath energy, and then
Oh,
ran
you
away.
didn't even have to touch me. Okay, all right. Okay. Then I'm just being fueled with the energy. I wake up. I immediately know what to do. I stand up, knock another arrow, try to hit some weak spot. I don't know, between the chinks of huge rock. I don't know. And I'll do 1 damage, and I think I'll move to Sigismund at the end of this turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit that life force within. With that, we'll move on to Norin.
Alright. I will step in and attempt to stand with an ally. And I will reach out to touch gresn'ilknus, very much in the same vein as previously, but just short of touching him, bolts of and arcs of lightning will blast up through his body as he casts lightning bolt for a mere 1 point of damage.
Okay.
It's a basic attack power.
Damage is needed.
Damage is damage. So
Yeah.
and I'm here for the defense ally. So
Which is good because we go on to aggression illness poll, and he is down to 2 in it. Go ahead.
Can I use reactive command?
You can.
You have to be in my region, don't you? You don't have any gas in the tank, do you?
I am right here.
Grab me.
Do you have any gas left in the tank?
I mean, I just have my basic attacks count as 1. But
Okay, that'll work, because I think that's all we're cooking with right now, right?
I think
You can
so.
hit me, I think. Does it have to be in your area?
I'm gonna double check that. I don't think so.
I think so.
I've got juice.
Allow an ally.
Yeah, I've also got it.
Gotcha.
Because I can step. Well, I can't step out. This is reaction. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna eat it. Never mind.
Well, you're not gonna eat it, and the reason for that is, as we do go, he has 2 initiatives right now, so this is a attack for 2 damage, slamming on both Jorg and Norin, but Norin moved in specifically because of that.
How does 2 damage feel?
Better than 4 or 5.
Okay, but you're still up.
Yeah, I'm up. I got
All
it.
right,
I'm
then-
bloodied.
I take the 2, and I'm down to 3.
Okay, both of you take this as it continues to roil and reel, as
Yeah.
Norin has this stored energy ready to go. Let's go ahead and go on to Sigismund.
Okay. I will move in. And as I move in, I will throw my tendril to Buck and slam my sword into the ground. Start sort of taking off parts of my armor. And I will transform into a werewolf. And my armor's now specially made, so when I'm transformed into a werewolf, like the breastplate stays and the pauldrons stay. And I'll use the floating islands to jump about, try to get on top of him, and I'll use my level 5 solo attack.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't know you had that.
And as he is jumping
Sick.
back and
Yes.
forth, the power of lineages past, the power of Briar looking over him, giving this divineness, this shamanistic protection of the world itself, bouncing, hitting, bouncing, back, beginning to drive this section. This leading ahead of gresn'ilknus breaks off from the corrupted trail behind him, and then begins to fall from the islands, begins to descend, crumbling back to the elemental chaos beneath. Those 10 points will do it. That is what we were saving that solo attack for.
Yeah.
He had a danger level of 22 to start with, and as he falls away, there's this momentary, brief relief before you realize that things are really bad because the rest of the world begins to just fall apart around you. That, these islands become everything. Lava melts through land itself, pitting holes, water is acid. The earth forms these giant ravines that then shear like scissors, chopping up the land around it. As the plane, without gresn'ilknus, allows for that ceremony you guys completed to finish, crumbling away for these air elementals, these assistants in times of dire need. that Celeste has summoned in the past to aid in this endeavor whisks you all, picking her up, whisking you up to the sky as the sky collapses around you, bringing this world to bear. As the world is changing. But I don't know how yet. As I have to tally up your guys' score, and I have yet another game to play to see if they have affected where the world becomes.
Amazing.
Wow.
So that means Norin's level of warlock with gresn'ilknus is broken now, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. we can finish that story beat most certainly.
Awesome. At the end of our campaign, we all leveled up to level 11, but Norin went level 12 and accidentally took a level of Great Old One Warlock.
Oh, nice.
With like a charisma of 10. It's like, you're not a very good warlock to your patron, but that's fine.
No, you were a beacon. You were the seed that he planted of just like, okay, I'm going to let this fester. I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to wait.